The ICC permanent premises, a designated court tower, 5 office wings with 1,200 workplaces, enclosed by the natural dunes on the coast of Holland, in the municipality of The Hague.
At the back of the building, you have the rolling sand dune of the North Sea, and then on the left side you have the city of The Hague. And the main element for us was to reinstate the site to a natural form of landscape and very cleanly and precisely cut a piece of the landscape and drop a piece of building.
This year we will take you on a guided tour of the events on the site this past year, led by ICC Permanent Premises Project Director Neil Bradley and Cordis Construction Manager Bart van Eyck. We also hear from the architect Denis Oulet how the design is taking shape.
I think this year has been amazing to see the progress. I'm coming to site every 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks I see something different.
Here is an impression of the developments this year.
First off, stick together and follow me.
The construction team achieved all of their targets this year and they are on schedule. The early delay caused by pollution in the ground before construction could start has been recovered by working with multiple crews.
Last year when we were here we saw only the basement. We were building the basement walls.
Since November last year, the 5 office wings were built up from the ground, floor by floor, simultaneously.
With office wing 1 and 2. After that we built office wing 5, 4 and 3, and in the meantime we were constructing also the court tower. We built up the structure, precast concrete columns, beams, all the walls. As you can see, the east side of the court tower has already reached its highest point.
As the facade of the premises is nearing completion, what was one of the most important milestones this year?
Most interesting part for me this year was to see that they were mounting the first elements of the unitized facade. As you know, we changed the facade last year, and yeah, to see the first elements at the construction site, well, that's very special for me.
You can never design a building for every day of the year, but the beauty I think about the facade of this building is on any given day, whatever is a dull grey day or a very bright day, the facade appears different. Because the glass is sloped in different ways, each piece of glass is different. On a misty day you pick up a little bit more about the pattern of colors, where you have the clear glass and the opaque glass. But on a bright day, because you have more sun reflection into the facade, it becomes more of a misty impression. So you don't pick up so much the geometry, but you pick up more the entire complex.
Eye-catching. The southwest corner offers one of the best views of the whole building and the recent landscaping work around the mirror pond. In a recent guided tour with the President Judge Sang Hwan Song and Chef de Cabinet Lynn Parker, Neil shows off the outside and inside of the building.
So again from the inside, this is the entrance booth and the doors coming in, so there's some revolving doors just here, and then the main reception desk just roughly behind where this fence is. We'll try and go through the door here, and what I'll do is I'll take you down the floor and we'll go and look at the main courtroom.
Is this the largest one?
This is the largest we have of the 3 courtrooms, yeah. 200 people on this floor, plus 197 behind the glass.
The court tower houses 3 courtrooms equipped with the necessary amenities, translation booths, separate access routes for witnesses, holding cells, and the list goes on.
3 on either side of the slightly higher level.
Both smaller courtrooms will be bigger than the largest courtroom in the current premises.
There'll be the glass screen for the public viewing gallery, so the public viewing gallery in the area behind. 3 interpreters booths this side, 3 on this side, the AV booths on the lower level again.
The permanent premises design is open and transparent, to the public as well. On the ground floor, there are many areas where staff and public can meet.
So you can really start appreciating this approach where you come through, walk over the mirror pond, and basically you are faced with a very clear, transparent ground floor. And that was also a very important part of the design, which also relates to the organization, is to be a very welcoming face of the organization. So when the general public come through the building, they feel that they can come through as an open and welcoming building.
In this section we're in the what will be the main meeting cluster and conference suite, and so this will be our major conference room. Wrapped around this small courtyard then is a series of other meeting rooms.
The window panes provide look-throughs to enjoy the natural environment and courtyard gardens, which represent the groups of member states subdivided into 5 regions. This will be the Asian Pacific courtyard garden.
There's a couple of magnolia trees, a little water feature, so very postcard type garden, so that when you look at it from the meeting centre out, it looks very cultivated and very nice. So it's a complete contrast to the natural dune landscape outside.
The themed garden features extend to the rooftops.
This is the actual finished roofs on the first floor, so they're all finished up with plants and natural roofs, so they've got a bit of growing to do yet, but this is the finished roof.
Since November last year, about 800 staff members have visited the site on guided tours. The office space is of particular interest to visitors, and a mock-up office now gives a good idea of what the work floor looks like.
This is a standard 2-person office. So 2 people, 3 windows.
Over the whole, reactions have been positive.
Modern, but also mixing with nature. But I find it like all the elements are here. There is water, there is nature, there is like... it gives you a good impression design to work. I mean, I think it will be a very positive to work here. So
it's a beautiful design.
Yeah.
It is going to be a very functional building, not only for lawyers like I, but also for all the personnel, all the staff involved in various aspects.
Some plans have already been modified to accommodate organizational changes.
Because we have a very modular office layout, we can readjust the office floor plans very easily. And so we've taken advantage of that through this stage before we finally put the petitions in to redesign the floor plans and put in 160 extra workspaces.
A key aspect of any building project is allowing for a degree of flexibility. Before the ICC is able to move into the new premises by the end of 2015, the functionality of the entire premises has to be tested. Once the construction process is finished, the transition phase can begin.
When it comes to moving the court, that will be a critical couple of weeks. So that really has to be planned in great depth, and we're just starting those procurements now and making sure we're planning those a year in advance. That really is going to be the next key thing to make sure we get it exactly right.
Leading the transition project is Brink Group Peter Timmermans, responsible for all project management and services.
So first, the contractor by mid next year will deliver the courtroom with all its facilities, showing us and proving that everything is working in a technical way as it should work. And then we bring in all sections of the court that are involved in a court session, but also the judges and also the prosecutor and also some witnesses played by some people, in order to make sure that from the start, where the detainees are in the cellar of the building, to the courtroom itself, that all logistics are tested on time, whether there is the right flow in a courtroom session.
The transition team is now designing a staged court session, which will run as early as July 2015. Again, a degree of flexibility is crucial, especially regarding the nature of the work of the court. Developments in real-life court cases between now and July 2015 may cause unforeseen disruptions to the schedule.
You can plan it. You can plan it a year ahead, but in the end, courtroom sessions cannot be planned.
After the premises has been tested, all of the staff will be moved to the new building over a period of 2 weeks. Each staff member will have 3 days.
One day they pack in the current premises, the second day the stuff is moved here, and at the same time they have a sort of training in the new building to understand the building a bit better. And then the third day they unpack, and from the fourth day on they work in the new premises.
The second part of the transition phase involves the ICC establishing a role in the ownership and maintenance of what will now be their permanent premises, contrary to the arrangements they have in their current location. Making these arrangements is complex because, in effect, the building has 122 owners with many different cultures and traditions which have to be kept in balance. The team, including the Oversight Committee, is committed not to let anything get in the way of meeting the ultimate deadline.
We need to keep the time of the two buildings overlapping as short as possible to make it as cost effective as possible.
In their effort to meet the deadline, the construction and transition projects have had to make a case for exceeding the budget this year.
We are going through a process where I'll need more money to be able to commit to contracts, because I can't rely on the money coming back in till the end of the project. And so this is the reason for the rise in the budget ceiling, is just to make sure I have a saying with my project team, which is you hope for the best but you plan for the worst. And so at the moment we're really worst case planning so that the money is potentially available should we need to use it, so that we can operate it in a way that causes us no delays. Because the only way to really finish the project on budget is to deliver the plan perfectly. And if we don't execute the plan perfectly, we hold ourselves up because I run out of authority commitments and that means I won't be able to place orders for the transition and I can't move the court, and the significance of that is far more to us in cost terms than the modest amount we've called for.
The team is now confident that both parts of the project are on schedule.
The main activity at this moment is the finishing of the building inside, and we would like to complete the finishing at the end of March, beginning of April. After that the testing and commissioning will start, and we hope to complete the building in the middle of next year.
At this point, everyone is looking forward to the landscaping of the premises. A very recent development is the perimeter wall, which surrounds the entire premises but cannot be seen from the outside road.
The main idea behind the design was to conceal all these security measures within the design and the landscape. So actually you don't perceive any fence or any very strong obstruction. So the building can portray a message of openness and welcoming.
A concrete wall at first sight is not perceived as inviting, but the team incorporated an art feature by engraving a pattern resembling clouds. Denis hasn't seen it for himself yet.
That's fantastic. Because the scale of it is really, really incredible. You know, it's this, I mean, you probably pick it up, is the depth of the engraving, which changed through it. And I think it comes really, really, I think it's fantastic. The cloud idea, you know, which is a kind of a reflection of the sky, I think is working extremely well. And when you have to imagine that when all of this is going to be covered with water, you know, on a sunny day, the reflection that will come from the water bouncing into the wall but also the reflection from the facade bouncing into the water and into the wall. That's going to be absolutely fantastic, I think. It's going to be magical, I think is the word. And I think that's really, really nice. Yeah, it is.
Both ICC and Cortis are very pleased with the cooperation and teamwork that has resulted in the major achievements in construction this year. Cortis has shown their dedication in another way, by raising a substantial amount of money for the ICC Trust Fund for Victims.
We realize how important the ICC is in the world, and we would like to do something also for the victims. So that is why we donated with all the partners a big amount of money for the ICC Trust Fund.
Raising €75,000, their donation, which was presented on the 17th of July, International Day of Criminal Justice, was the largest private donation to date.
It's pleasing to see the team surprise and please me in trying to embrace the reasons why the building's being built. So it's a very, very positive message.
As the third building year starts, now is the time for all states parties to think about their contribution to the representational features.
We have 4 very serious offers now that are currently going through the implementation, including a major piece in the plaza and hopefully now a major piece in the probably in the entrance area, donated by one of the member states. So really I would encourage all member states that this year is your chance. If you want to have some artwork incorporated by the opening ceremony, you know, please, now's the time to come forward.
It gives much comfort, workplaces for everyone, starting from judges down to just any staff members, and most happy about this new working environment.